no sun today. There's a lot of wind. It's a completely different day. It's kind of warm still. It was raining as well in the night, during the night. But yeah. There's a yellowhammer singing right behind us. I'm afraid if I would turn that it would stop. Let's try anyway. Yep. Yellowhammer singing right over there. Yeah. And oh shoot, I forgot to check on Drake. Oh, he's good. So yeah, one day and everything changes, huh? Kind of reminded me that song. I don't know what's the yeah, I can't remember the singer, but it's like an older song. It's like an older song. I think her name is like either like something. Reiko, říkal jsem jdeme. Yeah, I think he found something in there and he was like sneakily trying to, good boy, get to it. I'm sure. So yeah, called him back. And her name was either Washington or it was like Fitzgerald or something like that. I don't know. Can't really remember. Definitely gonna post it in there, but it's like strange because I haven't heard it for like well over 10 years, I think. And all of a sudden this morning I was like, huh, you know, and this like song popped up to me and it's like, what a difference a day makes, 24 little hours, what the sun and the flowers, and then it goes on and I don't remember the rest of the lyrics, but yeah, truly what a difference a day makes, huh? And sometimes it's incredible, like the differences, you know, because like you get warm, you know, sort of springy day, and then you wake up and everything is covered in snow, you know, and it changes just like that. Yeah, but today is very different from yesterday. Yesterday morning was absolutely stunning. I mean, I was checking back the video we captured, and that was like such an incredible, such beautiful sights, you know. It was just wonderful. It was even better live, you know. So yeah, by the way, there's a person walking in there. It's rarer than a white deer around here. An actual person. It's kind of weird. But yeah, it's very unusual to meet someone here, by the way. Very, very unusual. Quite rare. I meet someone like, I don't know, 2-3 times a year, perhaps. Oh. But anyways, yeah. Yesterday was amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I'm very much looking forward to days like this. Like more days like these, yeah. Because it's such a bliss, you know, to walk and enjoy the sunlight and the sights, and when it joins with something like mist and the vapor, and you know, you saw it yesterday, then it's like magical, really, you know. Absolutely magical. Yeah, anyway. Dejku, tady jdeme, pojď. Šup. Yeah, Drake got suspicious of the person walking. No wonder. Pojď, tady jdeme, šup. Yeah, he doesn't like really people that have a hood, and I think that person does have one. I think I'm gonna have to go get him, unfortunately. Yeah, probably I'll have to. Because he's no more hood, I see. Okay. Dobrý. Dejku, no. Nevymýšlej. Dobrý. Dejku. No. Jo, no jasně. Šup, hele, tam jdeme nahoru do lesa, pojď. No, pojď ty. Pako. No, co jsi zase vymýšlel, co? Jsi štěkal na někoho, ty. Co? Co jsi zase vymýšlel? Yeah, so that was an interesting encounter for sure. I think I'm gonna have to do a little censorship there so that I don't reveal the stranger's face, you know, for copyright reasons. Is it copyright? I don't know. Whatever, you know. I mean, I'm not sure if, yeah, I'm pretty sure that person's gonna be visible in the video. But, yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to now search for a tutorial how to you know, put a censorship filter on someone's face. I mean, I probably wouldn't have to, but you know, it kind of feels weird to film someone without his permission. And I don't really expect to like come across people here, like genuinely not. It happens, of course, rarely, but the people that walk the dogs, the neighbors, you know, we usually have a different sort of walking pattern. We have a different routes as well. I usually take a wild route, you know, through the forests, and I don't usually walk through like a classic sort of routes and paths, you know, because I enjoy being in the sort of wilder parts of the landscape, and it's just more enjoyable. And as you see on all those videos, there's just so much that you can experience and come across, and also you have your peace, you know, as well, which I enjoy. And you don't have to worry about things like this. Yeah, Dre getting suspicious. I mean, he's a really sweet dog, you know. He wouldn't hurt anyone. The thing there, like when he was, you know, riled up a little bit and sort of growling and barking. He, for one, he's got some sort of a trauma, and he's not very fond of men in general. I think someone was hurting him when he was on the streets, you know. I think he was beaten, most probably, I suspect, by a stick or something. I don't know, because he's very, like, he's scared by if you grab something in your hand. Nowadays, if you grab a piece of a branch, he gets excited because he thinks you're gonna throw it. But that wasn't the case in the beginning. He was terrified of anything that you would hold in your hand like this, you know. So I believe he was beaten most likely by a man, because he really does not like men. The only person and the only guy he ever kind of accepted was my dad, but I think that's because he smells that like we're related. That's my opinion, you know, that's my theory at least. But every other man he's like not very good with, you know. He needs to getting used to. He needs some time to get used to that person, you know. But once he warms up to them, he's like fine around guys, and you know, he's fine. But like the beginning, it's never easy, sort of, you know. He needs time. And you saw there, you know, when he smelled the stranger and got to quote unquote know him, you know, got to know his smell and everything, and saw that he means no harm, then he kind of relaxed, and you know, we could walk back, you know, onto our trail, and he was cool, you know, he was like relaxed. But you know, until he smelled that person, he was suspicious, and he, you know, expected something, you know. And what I found in particular, he's not very fond of weird clothing, you know. He doesn't like hoods, which is strange too. He doesn't like weird caps, you know. Whenever someone wears a colorful big sort of hat or cap, he immediately gets suspicious and barks. And I don't know, maybe he's some like fashion aficionado, you know. Also, I'm not sure, but it's strange. So he doesn't like very strange fashion. He gets very suspicious, you know. Big clothes, he hates hoods and caps, you know. Once the person takes off the cap, he's fine, you know, or helmet or something. I don't know why. It's strange. But like when it comes to women, he's completely fine, you know. He's friendly. He's, you know, even if it's a stranger, he approaches them absolutely, you know, sort of still cautiously, but not as fearfully, you know. So that's totally completely fine, you know, when it comes to women, for instance. And the person he knows and gets familiar with, he's like super, like, to me and to my girlfriend, he's extremely sweet, you know. He's like so sweet, you know. He's the sweetest dog I've ever got to know, you know. Really. And so I was just wanted to give a little bit of a background. By the way, I feel like there is something going on here. What is it, Drake? Something going on for sure. I think there are some animals in the brambles there. That's my guess. Because he stopped all of a sudden, and he seems to be kind of wary. And this is usually a favorite hiding spot for like boars and deers. But I feel like they would already run away right at this point. Maybe they're sitting low and they're right in the middle of it, you know, hoping we won't approach them. Which we won't do, right, Drake? Boy, Drake, budeme tady. Yo? Leave him alone, come on. Yeah, there's definitely something. Like whenever he does that, there's definitely some animals there, you know. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say, you know. That's why he reacted this way. Because he just gets very suspicious of men, especially that person was wearing a hood in the beginning, you know. And we never cross paths with other people here, you know. Almost never, that is, you know. And as I was saying, we have different sort of walking paths with the neighbors, and I usually take wild routes, you know. For instance, the path that we're walking through every morning, like this one over the hill, which, by the way, that hill is called Trolls Hill, you know, really, Trolls Hill, officially, really. So over that hill we were walking, and that path, actually, I'm not saying we made it, but there was no path. There was just like, I'm pretty sure animals went that direction, but we've been walking through there for like a year and a half at this point, and kind of cleared it, and you know, kind of made that little route walking there every day. And I cleared some of the branches and some of the fallen trees there as much as I could, some of the brambles, you know. So that is actually kind of quote unquote our path. I mean, of course we share it with hundreds of animals, and they were the first there, undoubtedly, you know. They created that path, and that's actually probably how I found it to begin with, you know, because I was searching for a path across that hill so that we can make a nice round, and I found that, you know. And it was a trail made by animals, and while it was much like kind of smaller and less defined back then, it was still a path, you know, that they made through that hill. And then I just, you know, sort of expanded on it and walking it pretty much every day almost. And so that's sort of our path there. And yeah. But yeah, if you get to know Drake, you know, he's extremely sweet and gentle, friendly, playful dog, you know. And he wouldn't hurt anyone. He's just afraid, you know. And of course, I know sometimes animals do things when they're afraid, and they could attack, you know. Definitely, of course. I mean, that happens. But I've seen Drake, you know, many times when he was like in overdrive sort of fear, and he's the flighter, you know. He's not the fighter. So whenever something goes down, he runs away, you know. And although he sometimes do hold his ground against, for some like more aggressive dogs, so he did get into a scruffle once in a while. He loves to play with other dogs, but there's just some particular dogs that he's like, I can't stand this motherfucker. And it's kind of mutual. It's funny, you know, because it's weird. Like, I don't know if it begins with one of those dogs hating each other, or both of them hating themselves at this, like each other at the same time. But we're probably not gonna go through here, right, Drake? Let's go back. Yeah, I was just gonna take a little longer route around to tell you a bit more, you know. But yeah, what in the Lord is that? Oh, it sounded religious. What in the Lord? Jesus. Jesus, yeah, well, here we go. I see. Okay, someone built a little hideout here. Some kids, I wager. And this is probably theirs, I assume. I guess they were doing some, I don't know, cooking, perhaps? Yeah, okay. First I thought it was foresters leaving something behind, but most likely it's those kids playing out here. Yeah. So, hold on, let me blow my nose. So yeah, sometimes he gets in a scruffle, and actually that's how he lost his leg, you know? Oh, fuck. Sorry. I don't know why I said fuck. That he was, that he got into a fight. I don't know the details of, because he was living in the streets and nobody was, you know, witness to that, but either he was attacked by other dogs, or he got into a scruffle, or whatever happened there. He got bitten pretty badly on that leg, and then since he was on the street and nobody really cared about him back then, he got, you know, infection into that leg pretty bad. And once the shelter found him, it was too late and they had to amputate it. So that's also why he's like kind of wary with like other dogs. And but there are some dogs he like absolutely loves, you know. He sees them and he's like playful and wants to run around and wants to, you know, do stuff together. There's like border collie, then like one border collie from somewhere around here. I don't know. The people live somewhere here, but I see him like 2-3 times a year, and he loves that dog. You know, he's like, whenever he sees that border collie, he's like so like, you know, energized, and he wants to chase, you know, each other, and they want to chase each other, and it's just cute to watch, really. But none of that was true in the beginning, you know. Like I remember when when I adopted him and you know, brought it to my home, he was extremely cautious, you know. We bonded. Like there was no, like really, from the very first moment, it didn't even take a day, and we immediately bonded, you know. But with things like playing, trusting other people, trusting other dogs, playing, relaxing, you know, like really just kind of not be in that constant fight or flight, that took a long time, man. I mean, I think like at least a year, probably year and a half, until he really fully relaxed. And of course, still now he's a little like, he has his moments of when he's like sort of clenched and, you know, ready to either fight or flight, you know. But those moments are more and more rare, you know. And he's in the most relaxed, playful, joyful, friendly, and just overly relaxed state that I've ever seen him, you know. Yeah. Nowadays he like initiates plays by himself, you know. Like he like invites you to play. He never did that before. Like, you know, it was a wonder if you could get him to play with you, you know. Or he just sees a little branch on the ground and he grabs it and wants to play with it. It's so unusual, you know. He didn't understand the concept of a toy before, you know. I could like show him the branch and he thought I want to hit him with it, you know. So he was afraid and running away from me. And when I threw it somewhere, he's like, "What the hell are you doing, man?" And now he's like so excited, you know, whenever you want to throw him a branch or something. So it was lovely to see his transformation, really. Anyways, that was a bit of a background in history, a little bit of a Drake's background in history. So I'm gonna sign off now.